Have you ever sat in a quiet room, look around, and realized it's only you? No one to cook for, no one to talk to, no one to ask how your day went. At first that stillness can feel like a relief, no noise, no mess. But after a while that silence begins to echo, and it stops feeling peaceful. It starts to feel like something is missing. If you've felt this, please know you're not alone. Even when it seems the world has grown quiet, your life still matters. Growing older often brings unexpected changes. Friends move away, loved ones die, children get absorbed in their own lives. The house that used to feel full can suddenly feel too large, too still, and too empty. The truth many people don't say out loud is this: loneliness isn't only about being physically alone. It's about feeling cut off from others, from purpose, even from yourself. That's what we'll talk about today. Because being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. This season, when you spend more time with yourself than before, can become one of the richest, most meaningful chapters of your life. It will take intention and heart, and it begins with a few small shifts. What loneliness really is. Loneliness is something many people don't openly talk about, yet it quietly becomes a part of life as we grow older. With age, the world around us slowly changes. Friends we once laughed with move away, loved ones we depended on pass on, and children become busy building their own families and routines. The home that was once filled with chatter, footsteps, and energy can suddenly feel too large, too still, and far too quiet. But loneliness isn't only about sitting in an empty room, it runs deeper than the absence of people. It's the feeling of being cut off, not just from others, but from a sense of belonging, from having purpose, and sometimes even from ourselves. That empty space can weigh heavily, making us feel invisible or forgotten. Yet here's the truth we often overlook: being alone does not have to mean living in loneliness. This season of life, where you spend more time with yourself than ever before, can actually become one of the most meaningful and enriching chapters, but it requires awareness, effort, and a willing heart. It begins with small but powerful shifts, like finding new ways to connect, creating structure in your days, and giving yourself permission to rediscover what brings you joy. When approached with intention, solitude can transform into peace, purpose, and even a deeper connection to yourself and the life you still have to live. Start by creating a rhythm. One of the most powerful ways to bring life back into your days is by creating a simple rhythm, a gentle structure that gives your time meaning. When you live alone, there's no one knocking on your door, no one reminding you of appointments, meals, or responsibilities. At first, that kind of freedom can feel wonderful. You can wake up when you want, move at your own pace, and do things only when you feel like it. But over time, too much unstructured space can quietly become a trap. The days begin to blur into one another, motivation fades, and before you realize it, you can't even remember the last time you cooked yourself a nourishing meal, stepped outside for fresh air, or felt excited about the morning. That's why rhythm matters. You don't need strict rules or a rigid timetable, just a steady flow that guides you forward. Start with small, meaningful rituals. Wake up around the same time each day, make your bed to signal a fresh start, sit with a warm cup of tea by the window, or take a short walk to greet the day. Plan at least one little activity for each part of the day, whether it's reading, gardening, cooking, or calling someone. These small habits might seem simple, but together they give your day shape, your mind purpose, and your heart a reason to look forward to tomorrow. Make your space support you. Your home is more than just four walls, it's the place where your heart rests, where your energy is either lifted or drained, often without you even realizing it. When clutter begins to pile up, when dust settles on furniture, or when rooms sit unused and silent, the atmosphere of your space starts to weigh on you. Little by little, it can make you feel heavy, tired, and disconnected, and in that state it's easy to stop caring. But here's the truth: the way your home feels is often a reflection of how you're caring for yourself. That's why reclaiming your space, even in small ways, can be so powerful. You don't have to redecorate or do everything at once. Begin gently, one corner at a time. Open the curtains and let the sunlight in, because light has a way of waking up both a room and your spirit. Add colors that bring you joy, hang a photo that makes you smile, or place a flower in a vase to remind you of life's simple beauty. Put on music that stirs your soul and fills the silence with warmth. These little touches may seem small, but they slowly transform your space into a place that supports you, comforts you, and reminds you that you still deserve beauty and care. And when your surroundings begin to feel alive, your own heart and mind will start to feel more alive too. Move, even in small ways. Movement is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to bring life back into your days, and it doesn't have to mean long workouts or heavy exercise. It's about keeping your body in motion, reminding yourself that you are still alive, still capable, and still strong in ways that matter. When you live alone, it's easy to spend most of the day sitting to eat, sitting to watch television, sitting to think, and before you know it, hours have passed in stillness. But your body is designed to move, and when it does, it creates energy, lifts your mood, and brings a sense of vitality back into your life. Movement doesn't have to be big to make a difference. Start gently, stretch your arms and legs before getting out of bed, roll your shoulders, breathe deeply. Take a short walk outside, even if it's just to the end of the block and back, and let the fresh air fill your lungs. Play your favorite song and allow yourself to sway or dance around the kitchen, not for anyone else, but just for you. These small movements remind your body it still belongs to you, and your spirit will feel lighter too. You haven't lost your strength, it's still within you, waiting to be awakened. With every step, stretch, or little dance, you're telling yourself, I am still here, I am still alive, and I can still feel joy through motion. Reach out and make connection. Reaching out and building connection is one of the most healing things you can do when life feels quiet. When you spend a lot of time alone, it's easy to convince yourself that nobody notices you anymore or that everyone is simply too busy with their own lives. But the truth is, connection doesn't always come knocking at your door. Sometimes it needs you to take the first step. A simple phone call to an old friend, a genuine smile to the cashier at the store, joining a local class or even an online group, or writing a short letter that simply says, I was thinking of you, can open doors you didn't expect. People are often waiting for connection too, but someone has to begin. If reaching out feels overwhelming, start with the smallest steps, wave to a neighbor, say hello to someone you pass by, or invite a friend for a cup of tea. Remember, you are never too old to build new friendships or breathe life into old ones. And if it feels like no one has reached out to you lately, it may not be because they don't care, it could be because they don't realize how much you'd appreciate hearing from them. Let them know. A small effort on your part can grow into something beautiful, bringing warmth back into your days and reminding you that you are still deeply connected to others. Record yourself, your memories matter. One of the hardest parts of being alone is the quiet feeling of invisibility, as if the world has kept moving while you've been left behind. But your life, your memories, and your experiences still matter deeply, and one of the most healing ways to remind yourself of that is to record your own story. You don't have to wait for someone to ask, your memories deserve to be voiced simply because they are yours. Keep a small journal by your bed and write down one thought or memory each day, no matter how ordinary it may seem. Use your phone to record your voice, telling stories about your childhood, your family, the places you've traveled, or even the lessons you've learned through both joy and hardship. Speak your memories out loud, even if the room is empty, because your heart still needs to hear your own voice. Over the years, you've gathered laughter, love, wisdom, and even pain, and every one of those pieces is part of a rich story that should not be lost. These records are not only gifts for you, reminders that your life has meaning, but they may one day bring comfort and guidance to someone else. Perhaps a child, a grandchild, or even a stranger will read your words and feel less alone because of what you shared. Never doubt this, your voice matters, your memories matter, and your story is still worth telling. Speak kindly to yourself. We all carry an inner voice with us, and when life grows quieter, that voice often grows louder. Sometimes, instead of lifting us, it repeats regrets, mistakes, or harsh judgments we've picked up over the years. Alone with our thoughts, it's easy to slip into believing whispers like, I'm useless, or asterisk, no one cares about me anymore. Asterisk, but you have the power to gently shift that conversation. The moment you notice those heavy thoughts, pause and replace them with something kinder, even if it feels small at first. Say to yourself, I'm still here. I matter. My life still has meaning, today I'll do something that nourishes me. These aren't empty words, they are gentle reminders that you deserve the same care you've always given others. Speaking kindly to yourself is not about pretending everything is perfect, and it's not selfish or indulgent, it's a form of nourishment, like food for your spirit. Just as your body needs warmth and rest, your heart and mind need compassion to keep going. Self-kindness is what gives you the strength to rise on days when life feels heavy, and it helps you see that even small steps forward are victories. With practice, that inner voice can become a friend instead of a critic, someone reminding you that you are worthy, capable, and still filled with possibilities. Treat yourself with the tenderness you've long offered others, you've earned it, and it can change how every day feels. Care for something outside yourself. Caring for something outside yourself can be one of the most powerful ways to bring meaning back into your days. When life feels quiet and empty, having something to nurture gives you a reason to get up, to move, to show up with love. It doesn't have to be big, it could be a little plant by the window that needs water and sunlight, a small garden where you watch new life grow, a pet whose eyes light up when you walk into the room, or even a neighbor who appreciates a helping hand. These acts may seem simple, but they carry deep importance. When you see a flower bloom because of your care, or feel a cat purr in your lap because you were there, it's a reminder that your presence still matters in this world. Life continues to flow through you and around you, and by giving a little attention and love, you become part of that flow. Being needed, even in small ways, helps you feel connected, valued, and alive. It shifts the focus away from loneliness and gives you daily purpose, however quiet or gentle it may be. The act of caring is also healing, it nourishes your own heart as much as it supports what you're tending to. In every drop of water, every kind gesture, every moment of care, you're not just giving life, you're also receiving it back in ways that fill your spirit. Create, laugh, and let joy in. Creativity and joy are like open windows for the soul, they let in fresh air when life feels heavy or repetitive. Worry often circles in the mind when nothing interrupts it, but creativity breaks that cycle. You don't have to be an artist to create, what matters is giving your hands and heart something to do. Paint a picture, knit a scarf, bake bread, write a simple poem, or even try a new recipe. What you make doesn't need to be perfect, it only needs to be yours, an expression of your inner world brought to life. When you create, you give your feelings a safe place to land and transform what's inside you into something real and meaningful. Just as important, don't forget to let laughter in. Even in the hardest seasons, you deserve moments of lightness. Watch a funny film, read a comic that makes you grin, or call the friend who always manages to spark your laughter. A single chuckle can soften a heavy day, and those small moments of joy add up over time, quietly lifting your spirit. Creativity and laughter together bring balance, one helps you express, the other helps you release. They remind you that even when life feels serious, there's still room for color, fun, and delight. By creating, laughing, and opening your heart to joy, you're not ignoring your struggles, you're giving yourself the strength and light needed to move through them. Grief, permission to feel, and gentle recovery. There will be moments when grief shows up without warning, maybe through a song that plays on the radio, the familiar smell of a favorite meal, or the sight of an old photograph tucked away in a drawer. When it comes, it can feel like a heavy wave that takes your breath away. In those moments, give yourself permission to feel it fully. Do not silence your tears or tell yourself to stay strong just for the sake of appearing okay. You have loved deeply, and missing the people, places, and seasons of life that are no longer here is proof of that love. You've earned the right to grieve, and there is no timeline for it. After the tears slow, take one small step that reminds you of the life still within you, open a window and breathe in the fresh air, take a short walk, light a candle, or whisper their name with love instead of only pain. In doing so, you turn memory into something warm and alive rather than something locked in sorrow. Grief may never leave entirely, but it does not have to dominate every room you walk into. You can make space beside it for joy, for peace, for gentle moments of beauty. Over time, grief softens, not because the love fades, but because your heart learns to carry it differently. Let yourself feel, let yourself heal, and trust that both grief and joy can live together in your story. Give, ask for help, keep dreaming. One of the most powerful ways to keep hope alive is through giving. When you offer your time, your skills, or even a small act of kindness, it fills the empty spaces that loneliness can leave behind. Volunteer at a local shelter, read stories to children at the library, cook a meal for a neighbor, or simply share a smile with someone who looks like they need it. These acts don't just help others, they remind you of your own worth and show that you still have so much to offer. At the same time, don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Real strength isn't about carrying every burden alone, it's about knowing when to reach out. Whether you're struggling physically, emotionally, or financially, talk to someone you trust, a doctor, a pastor, a friend, or a family member. People often want to help but don't know what you need until you speak up. And through it all, hold on to your dreams. Life doesn't stop offering possibilities just because the years have passed. Try something you've always been curious about, take a short trip, learn to paint, join a choir, or pick up a new language. Dreams are not reserved for the young, they belong to anyone who still breathes, hopes, and wants to experience more. Giving, asking, and dreaming keep your spirit alive, they remind you that you're still connected, still needed, and still capable of new joys. A small, strong reminder. Close your eyes for a moment and picture something new, not a huge change or a distant dream, but one small thing that feels possible today. Maybe it's taking a short walk, calling someone you miss, starting a book you've been meaning to read, or even just opening the window to let the fresh air in. Take that single step, because every small action adds up to something meaningful. The fact that you've made it this far is proof of your strength. It shows that you care for yourself, even in ways you may not notice, and that a part of you is still willing to grow, to learn, and to live fully, even in quieter seasons of life. Being alone isn't always something we choose, but it can also be an invitation, an opening to return to yourself, to listen to your own thoughts, honor your values, and move at your own rhythm. Each day you wake up, you still hold the power to decide how you will show up, how you will care for yourself, how you will think about the world, how you will share love, and how you will live the hours ahead. That choice belongs to you, no matter your age or your past. Even now, even after everything you've been through, your life still holds moments of beauty and meaning. You are still here, and that matters more than anything. You are not just moving through the days, you are building a life, one moment, one breath, and one small act of courage at a time. Loneliness may come knocking, but it doesn't have to stay. Your heart still beats with purpose, your hands can still create, and your voice still carries meaning. Choose one thing today, no matter how small, that makes you feel alive. Take a walk, call someone who matters to you, or enjoy a quiet cup of tea by the window. These simple choices remind you that life is still here, waiting to be lived fully. If this message has brought you comfort or encouragement, I invite you to share in the comments one small thing you'll do this week to care for yourself. Your words might inspire someone else who needs it. And if this video touched you, please give it a like, it helps others discover this space of connection. Most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path. We are here every week with honest, uplifting conversations to remind you that you are not walking this stage of life alone. We walk together, with strength, wisdom, and hope. Here's to your peace, your courage, and to living your best life right now. You've got this, and we believe in you.